Today we're just going to be working on building this look. So taking the top-down approach to color grading by saying, hey, this is the top. And we'll work on the other things later. But right now, this is our image for today. We're working on this nice, lovely lady as she is talking to somebody off camera. Right now it's in Davinci Wide Gamut, so yeah, you can't really see much of what's going on. But we're going to just, we start at the top and build the look. And so the big thing is bringing it all the way out to the end. We want it in Rec 709, Gamma 2.4, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, we're going to see, boop. Well, that's what this does. Make sure that I have nothing else on, right? Yeah, nothing else goes on. This is just it. So yeah, that gives her a little bit more of a reddish hue. We can check our skin. I'm not happy with that. Some things are out of line, out of whack. But that's okay. We're just building the look. We're looking around, seeing what we like. This is literally the only thing that's going on right now. Everything else is turned off. Nothing's happening on any aspect of this image besides our display transform. And we could bring in and go, boop, let's do a CST. From timeline, and we're going to go out to Rec 709. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Gamma 240. Where is it? I hate that there is so many things in here. And I can't see it. Where is it? Gamma. I can't read. I should have just did the quick thing. I usually do luminance, custom, pop it up, and we'll turn it off. And that is the stock. This is the stock CST from, just to be sure, because, some things go wrong. Yeah, there we go. That looks a bit better. So this is our stock transform, color space transform from Davinci Resolve. But we turn that off, switch over. Do we like this one or do we like that one? Or do we want to switch this to open DRT? Where do we want to go? That's another one we could do. Oops, daisy. Don't want to do that. Ooh. This is a starting point. This is what we're doing. High audible. JP2499 visually for me is what I'm picking. Hey, wait a sec. We're building this look. We need to know what's going on here. What is the story here? So she's talking to somebody off camera. Let's bring out the story-o-matic and go, who is she? And pull up a character card. Ooh, she is a teller of secrets and a flirt. There we go. A teller of secrets and a flirt. And so what secret is she telling? We got to go with what it gave us. No time to rest and the discovery of a new species. So she is a flirt that is telling secrets about a new species. Now, I always find it interesting. I mean, if she is a teller of secrets, discovering a new species, how do we go about that story? So she is talking to somebody off camera. She's telling secrets, but she's also being a little flirtatious about it. Fascinating. So how is that going to influence things that we choose to do? Let's go to our contrast. We're going to start with our contrast curve. She is a teller of secrets. Hi there, Miss Teller of Secrets. What are you telling us today? Oh, you're talking about how you discovered a new species or your lover discovered a new species. And that's a secret. Because you don't want people to know you discovered something new until it's ready to be monetized, right? No. So why are you telling us now? What secret are you telling us? What purpose? It's got to be money, right? Everyone tells secrets for money. Or is she a teller of secrets because she is just a blabbermouth and can't keep her mouth shut? That's a possibility, I guess. Let's see how that did. Let's turn it off. How does that influence? So here's the thing. And the reason I say this is because knowing the story in mind, yeah, this is from my footage that I use when I'm just developing a look, but like without knowing context, without having other things. Like I was working on a sunset video the other day, and I knew that it was not like the sunsets that I saw when I grew up. It looked like a California sunset, a sunset that I've known for the last 15 years, but it did not look like a sunset from Illinois in the Midwest, in the plains. And my wife agreed. So having a story, having context, having something to think about as you're coloring is going to steer the choices you make. You know, how do I feel about her if she's a teller of secrets? Do I need it to be a little bit darker? Do I need to bring in a little bit more contrast? We need to sharpen things up a notch. What do we got to do to this image if we think she's a teller of secrets? So she has that nice jacket. That's a little, let's bring in the density on that a little bit. Let's play around and make an adjustment on the global density. Yeah, how are we liking that? What we're gonna do with saturation. How's our skin looking now? We want to not be too crazy because we'll deal with some of that in the next segment. But yeah, it's actually, I've been kind of in a place where, so if this is a teller of secrets, if this is a movie, we're thinking about things here. This is a little bit gritty. We want it to be less saturated. We want to pull some things out of the image, and this would be we're working on the level of the image that is tied to most of the things that we deal with. And it's looking a little bit better for what I want. This is hue shift. We want to make her jacket a different color. That's going to affect her skin tone a little. So we're going to want to watch that. So if we bring out, yeah, that actually helped skin tone a little bit. Just dialing in this hue shift a little. So one of the things is like, always from an artistic perspective, I'm looking at things like, here's my nose, here's my center line. Am I making everything consistent, or am I understanding that part of the face is lit differently, part of the face has different luminosity, has a little bit more artistic feel, a little bit more depth if you draw the line down the center and just have that little bit of a Rembrandt hit on the one high cheek on the other side. And you can see just by dialing that in, we're starting to get that over on the high cheek on the other side. And we can turn that skin check off. We can also play around with how we work in the hue on her skin. Just yeah. Boom. I think and the last thing we're going to do to build this look is we're going to turn that off because we don't want to do things to the image that are going to completely change things in a bad way. We want to change things in a good way. Yeah, that's actually looking really nice. I like that. So we're going to just add a little split curve, and then we're going to be done with building the look for this teller of secrets. Let's bring up, show the split curve. Why aren't you showing it to me? Oh, it's turned off, that's why. So let's really make the hue in shadow hue very, kind of want to make it contrast. Yeah, let's just deal that in. Let's preserve some color. So yeah, this is when I'm putting in a split tone in, I'm kind of, I always end up with that kind of bubblegummy hue of a California sunset. Don't know why. Don't know if that's good, if that's bad, but it is kind of just where I tend to go with things. And I'm weird. Maybe you're weird too. I don't know. But she is a teller of secrets. We can kind of turn the curve off and kind of see what we did there. Just gave us a little bit more color contrast. Putting those blues in the background kind of just give us something. Give us something to go against the back of her neck. Anyways, I'm kind of liking that. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't know if I want to do any halation. All right, we're going to do one thing. We're going to do one thing real quick. We have 1 minute in my arbitrary way of doing things. We're going to go like this. We're going to go layer, and we're going to do this. So we got this coming out here. I'm going to do layer off of that. So we have our prime. We can get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. So we have our prime footage here. We're going to completely just pull the saturation out of this. And then we're going to tell it that we are doing overlay. Where is it? Ooh, that's getting gritty. And then we're going to just dial this back a notch in terms of the, we're going to go over here. And we're just going to go to our key output. Button. Note key, and we're just going to take down the gain a little bit and dial it back. Just get a little bit more right there. Yeah. Let's bring up that blackboard again. Bring this off the floor. Yeah, so how do we like that? So we turn it off, turn it on. Just put a little bit harsher contrast on it. I kind of like that. That's a fake way to do a little bit of a bleach bypass move right there. Kind of liking where that's going. All right, so we're gonna leave it there. In a second, there you go. I hope you enjoyed building this look. In the next video, we're going to talk about shaping it a little bit more and kind of working on balancing it and fixing some of the things. So that look that we just kind of did would be something that I copy paste on all of the shots, but you can, if this was more than one in a series, but right now I just have this one shot that we looked at. I'm going to do some things underneath that now. So yeah, click on the next video if you want to keep watching, or wait a day or two whenever this posts. But anyways, take a deep breath. This has been the joy of coloring. Claire. Hey, welcome back to the joy of color grading. If you watched the previous video, which I think is linked up above, it was building the look of this image, which we just did a top-down look right there. Kind of started at the bottom, picked our display resolve transform and everything like that. And now we're just going to come back under and we're going to balance the shot. And we're going to kind of work and talk about balancing this shot out a little bit and working on how I would think about doing it just now that we've created a look for the entire film. Remember, the story that we had in place is that she is a teller of secrets, a flirt, and she's talking about the discovery of a new species. So yeah, we're going to work on, dialing some things in and making it look nice. So yeah, our exposure, she is underexposed now that we kind of cranked up the contrast. We kind of, it's not that I'm changing that, it's just that, yeah, I want to make sure that my shadows are preserved. I want to make sure that some things aren't too dark. There are details that are there. We're just kind of just bringing it in. I'm more focused on thinking about what's going to be distracting at this point. I mean, I don't think there's too much out of whack. It's just, am I doing something to the image that is a distraction? So that as you watch her tell her secret and talk to people, whoever is off screen, whoever she's talking to, is what's going on a distraction? Then the other thing that I'm concerned about is we're prime focused on her skin. And so where are we at on skin? She's dark, if we recall from our that we made some modifications there. But yeah, where are we with skin? Can we just steer this? Are we where we want her to be? What do we want that skin to be in the shadows? How's that going to affect? So I just have skin check up on, and I'm just making some small adjustments. We know we started. It didn't look too bad out of the gate. But now you can see what I was talking about in the previous video is that there is a little bit on the one cheek and consistency for the majority of the face, but that one cheek, we're starting to get that little high cheekbone look. And that is, we can talk about that in terms of lighting, would be that lighting is kind of the skin matches about the same. And then we can kind of come back. Do we make it better or worse? We lost quite a bit of color contrast by doing that, by steering it around. And that is not okay. So if we were going in more of a warmer direction for the shot, sure. But she didn't tell her secrets. She's cold. She's harsh. She's probably telling the secret. So yeah, this would be more dreamy. This would be more where we want to be. So I'm not happy with what I did there. And I'm going to just turn that offset off. Kind of see where we are at. The gamma might be as one. I think the shadows, we want the shadows to stay that bluish tone. We can kind of push that. You can kind of see on the vector scope we're starting to stretch some of that, and that's giving us that nice more color contrast. We can kind of then go back and check are we being too crazy on her skin. We don't want to affect it too much. Gotta see where we're at. And right now, so I'm going to come down, I'm going to pull in this other DCTL, and we're just going to be quick about it. Just going to select her skin. We're going to pick up on the highlight. And we're going to just work this and just dial in on that skin. Just making some adjustments till we find kind of what we want. And then we might want to, once we have that, we can see that we're really only affecting part of the jacket and part of her skin. So we can kind of tweak the saturation. We can rotate her hue, kind of getting it back to center of what skin should look like. Maybe, maybe not. Kind of just tweak that maybe a little bit, soften it a little bit. And see if we turn it on, turn it off. Yeah. Are we liking that? Just making some, pretty much what we're just doing here is just trying to find that right balance on the shot. So we have our look in place. And so it's like, do we completely ruin and botch it all? And yeah, where is the line between our look dev for our thing and kind of finding that balance? But she is. Hmm, 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 yeah. What do you guys think? Leave a comment. Let me know. Yeah, I'm probably going to revisit this in the future. It's kind of one of those things where we're just working in linear gamma, so you can double check we're in linear gamma, and we're just kind of working that. Yeah, reload this one. That's not what I want. I want a different one. Yeah. It's kind of a push and pull at this point. Because, like, I am really focused on wanting to make sure she looks great. So, yeah. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Am I getting this shot somewhere that it should be? And yeah, uh, maybe you tell me. But this is the part of the process of we're just balancing the shot out. So we have our look in place that we built in the previous video, and you can watch that here, or we're just gonna keep working and tweaking and dialing this in. But one of the things we can do is go over to some other shot, like maybe these were similar shots, similar moments, similar time frames. So if we were working on this shot, if we had popped over here after that, and we had developed our look, you can see this is all over the place. We can kind of go here and say, hey, apply that active layer. So this is the look that we developed in the previous video, and just applied it to another video. You can kind of see, are we happy with where things are at in here? Does this work? But that's part of the, the balancing effect. Here it's a little bit darker. Maybe what is she telling a secret? Maybe here we can think about she's telling a secret about that time that she went to a weird bar. Is that her? I don't even remember. That looks like a different actress. Anyways, if you enjoyed that, this is the joy of coloring. We're just kind of playing around with some footage on a couple short films that I have laying around, and then yeah, if you have a commercial or a film that you need color graded, please, hey, feel free to send me a message. I'm always open to working on some new projects. But until next time, stay tuned. There's things that I do on Fusion and tool tips as I just talk about a singular tool. So yeah, hit like, subscribe, and do those other YouTubey things. But this has been a fun little exercise in balancing the shot. Until next time, later. Gotta turn everything off.